In recent years, some African countries have experienced several military takeover of democratically elected governments. Mali, Chad, Guinea, Sudan, and now Burkina Faso are not spared. The AU says Burkina Faso's instability alone has led to about 40% of the country being taken over by terrorists. And here in Nigeria, the government is struggling to win the war against insurgency, banditry, and kidnapping. This has continued to raise concerns and has compelled the African Union to review the activities of the AU standby force. Is our standby force really on standby? This is the question echoed by the Commissioner for Political Affairs in ECOWAS. He is asking that the AU peace operations to be fully operational to help tackle insecurity.
How do we ensure that we have proper standby forces across the continent, given the situation, on the continent today? And the African Union is not an organization that must be taught lessons in operating in asymmetric environments. As the example of AMISOM, tells us, the AU has actually been one of the most successful peace support operations entrepreneurs on the continent.
Chairman of the African Union Peace Security Council says funding is the biggest challenge and it has to be addressed.
What we're going to do here is to look at the lessons learned from the previous peace support operations that were deployed within the African continent. What is it that we can take away? What were the lessons? And what are the new lessons or new issues that we can put forth to make sure that the peace support operations that African Union is going to deploy are going to be successful.
The African Union is solidly promoting what is called African solutions to African problems. That require commitment in terms of financing, that is adequate and sustainable on our part. And one of the mechanisms that the African Union has put forward is what is called the African Union Peace Fund. It is currently resourced to the tune of over $321 million. And it is going to be gradually used based on the budgetary processes of the AU for member states to tap in and put our resources together.
But the Nigerian government, which is hosting the talks, says the continent should re-examine the challenges facing the African standby force to improve on future AU interventions.
Indeed, peace support operations are a complex and unpredictable endeavor, wherein the process of implementation does not always align with the planning intentions. And it is within this context that one notes that the African Union has mandated, authorized, and endorsed about 27 PSOs, including those facilitated by regional economic communities and regional mechanisms, and also ad hoc coalitions of state.
In the next 2 days, lessons learned from this deliberation will help to improve the AU standby force that will help tackle insecurity on the African continent. Punaraman Benjamin, Arise News.